termination letter?
No, no, it's mine. Termination letter. Geez, can we get extra copies made for everyone? Is Alex coming tonight? I thought so too, because for the waters, for that, for the meeting for Bartley Juice. There's Gene. On the whole property? Yeah. Right. Yeah. 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 Start one end and go to the other. Kevin, this just came in from Chris for the sewer project. That's why you guys, he didn't want to go into, and, I'm gonna ask, he wants to talk to Artis, so we'll see what it is.
Okay.
Yes, yes. How you doing back there? All right, it's 5 o'clock. Would everyone join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, take roll call, please.
Mr. Warden. Here. Mr. Simonis.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Hulbert.
Here.
Mr. Lumsden.
Here. Communications?
None.
Okay. Open forum. Guests shall speak in orderly fashion, are limited to remarks of 5 minutes or less. The speaker shall deliver their comments or concerns in a civil tone without the use of profanity or personal attacks. Speaker shall not be interrupted except in a matter of urgency. Mr. Warden, will you do my timer for me?
I'm working on it.
Okay. Would anyone care to speak tonight? Yes, ma'am. Yep. Greg, you want to grab that mic for her?
Thank you, Greg.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Donna Russin. I live at 32 Johnson Road in Morningside Heights. I am the chairperson for our local community for voting against the Cipriani Solar Farm. I have here, they're poor copies, but you can read them. Someone took it off the internet. It's from the Town of Dickinson supervisor to Brian Donnelly, saying, please vote no on this. I only made enough copies for the board members. I see there's more people here. Also, I have a geology report from Ron Brink. He lives in Morningside Heights, and he's a geologist. He's retired. He also, I got a text from his wife that he went a few days ago to our town office and asked for freedom of information law to obtain storm and sewer hookups for our neighborhood. He requested maps and wants to try to determine how much water our current system can hold. They have to run this by the town lawyer, he was told, and it could take 20 business days. Now, what I wanted to say is we did become organized in June for the planning board meeting that was held in June, the second Monday. We received that day a postcard stating Solar Farm 42 Smith Road. So everybody in my area thought it wasn't gonna affect Morningside Heights because it'd be probably up on farmland up on Smith Road. And that wasn't the case. When I came to the first meeting, out of curiosity, someone told me that it was gonna be in our area. Most of the people that came to the planning board meeting were from Smith Road, and they said, there's no entrance on Smith Road. What's going on here? And Cipriani was there, their representatives, and they said, well, it'll be Grandview. So 10 Grandview Place, which is around the corner from me, it's a residential area. I live in a residential area, but the land that Cashew owns, he's the owner, that wants to lease to Cipriani is considered agricultural. So what happened was when I sent out a flyer saying this is our neighborhood, not Smith Road, you know, it's around the corner from us. Not one person in the neighborhood was for it, not one person knew about it. It was kind of like transparency about this happening. The last meeting in August, June and July and August, we packed the room, the planning board room, with residents, local residents, all objecting this. And for reasons that we live in a storm flooding area, that they want to cut down all these trees, which will cause flat flooding, I was told by someone, and it just doesn't make any sense. If I have people in the area that live there, Chuck Debner, who is a relative of mine, he's a retired planning engineer from DOT. He used to do these projects, and he was on record that it's his speech is, all of this is public knowledge on the minutes of the board meeting, the planning board meeting. So anyway, he mentioned the report that wasn't done by Cipriani. He mentioned the drainage pipes, you know, nothing's making sense. And this is our livelihood. I mean, the majority of people in my area you know, our homes are our investment. And when you put up a solar farm in your backyard, and these solar panels, they have cadmium in them, you know, it's not as green as people think. And that's all gonna be in our backyard. And Hyder Park was just done. It's always got kids there. Our neighborhood does not have sidewalks, so the kids play in the street. And the person from Cipriani said that, oh, it doesn't affect your house value. Well, according to the internet, it does. It goes down 5%. And also, the trucks coming through will be construction trucks for 2 years coming up our roads, ruining the roads. Oh, they said we'll put a bond, we'll do something, we'll repair the roads when it's done. And he said it's only 3 months. And I had some other engineers in the area that live in the area speak and say nothing's ever done in 3 months. So then, in August, there was a special announcement that Cipriani was tabling for the August meeting. So most of the people stayed home thinking they weren't gonna be here. Big surprise, a bunch of us came, we filled the room, Cipriani was there, and I went over to the secretary and I said, what's going on? I thought it was tabled, they weren't gonna be here. Oh, he didn't want people here, the residents, he just wanted to speak to the board themselves. And that didn't set well with any of us. And the fact that, you know, they put it to as 42 Smith Road.
Okay.
Am I running out of time?
Ma'am, Your 5,
Sorry.
your 5 minutes is up. We gotta give someone
Okay.
else a chance.
I will
So
just,
wrap her up.
okay.
Thank you.
I'm wrapping up. We have contacted the media. Jim Enke came and did a video. I don't know if any of you saw it. Spoke with Ron Brink, our geologist that lives at South Morningside Drive. I also just sent out letters to our legislature, Aaron Micah, Stephen Flagg. Someone's contacting Angelino. And I sent a letter to our town attorney, Mr. Van Wy, and he graciously sent it late last night. He replied today. He can't meet with me and the residents without permission from the town board, and he's referring us to a lawyer specializing in municipality laws.
Okay, I gotta wrap it up. 'cause I
Okay,
got other
I'm
people.
done.
Okay, thank you.
But I just wanted you to be aware,
Okay,
and I wanted to meet you and have you see that letter from the town of Dickinson supervising, asking it not to go through.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Anyone else care to speak? Yes, sir. It's a good timer.
Yeah, hopefully it won't go off like it did. Sorry.
He's gonna speak on that one, I guess.
Yeah, I'm good here.
Oh, you got one over there.
Yep. Good afternoon, Steve Oberhaus, from Shingle Ridge Fire Company, president again. Following up from our meeting back on August 20th and that, one of the things that came up was a question regarding turning our budgets in on time. So I just wanted to clarify, went back and checked. Contractually, we're due to turn our budgets in by August 20th. For the 26th budget, it was turned in on August 13th of 25. The budget for 2025 was turned in on July 22nd of 24. The budget for the year 2024 was turned in on August 10th of 2023. I didn't go back further than that because we were on a 5-year contract at that point. So I didn't go back any further than that just to check. But just to let you know, we've been turning the budgets in ahead of time, so
Okay.
we'll met that requirement. Also, just to let you know, we're ready to negotiate whenever, the town wants to talk, or if they have questions regarding the budget that was submitted, let us know. From starting next Monday for 2 weeks, we'll be unavailable. I don't have anybody available to meet, but other than that, if there's any questions or board would like to meet,
Okay,
just get in contact with us.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else care to speak? Yes, sir.
It's Michael.
Though I think you can all hear me anyway real good. Last few meetings, all of a sudden, we seem to be getting a secret meeting every time we have a board meeting here. Always plugged in the middle because it's a union grievance or a lawyer is involved from outside and that. Now, all of you people, you haven't got elected yet, but you will. You've got to been appointed. But are up there because you're supposed to serve the residents of the town of Shenango to the best of your ability. It almost seems like you're making us second-class citizens, the ones that come here. You're putting that stuff ahead of us. Those meetings, if it's on the agenda, you can make the motion to have that meeting at the end of the regular session and not in the middle and make us sit here. I left when you did it last week, or last meeting. You were gone 33 minutes, making the people, and now you see, you hardly have anybody coming to your meetings. I'll explain something about meetings here in a minute, but some of that is because of this, it's a joke to come to the meetings. It's getting, around the town of Shenango, it says, you want a comedy, evening, come to the town of Shenango board meeting, there's twice a month you can go to a comedy evening. I don't like to hear that. I've been coming here a long time. I've been coming to town board meetings longer than you guys are old. You guys weren't born when I started coming to town board meetings. Anybody here 75 years old or older? I've been coming here for 75 years, believe it or not. When I started when I was 18 years old. This is the most defunctional way you guys are operating. Meetings never were this long way back there, and don't tell me you got a lot more stuff to do and, you know, and blah, blah, blah. Work sessions should not be mixed in with board meetings. Most people could care less about your work session. You need them, but you should do them separately, not make us have to come to a work session to see what the hell is going on, just to get the, I used to come just to the business part of it, but then it was getting mixed up, going too long or too short, and I was missing stuff. So I ended up here coming for the whole darn thing. You gotta do these, at least get those secret meetings at the end. Those outside lawyers, they're no better than any one of us sitting here from the residents. They don't deserve any more special privilege, but we, the citizens, certainly have a right to have your best interest on our behalf for us that do come here. Maybe we can get some more people. We used to get 15 and 20 people come to these meetings. Granted, you probably don't want them there because you have less people to argue with, but I think I covered it. Just think about that, but I think those meetings should be at the end, not make us sitting here for a long time. Because when you guys walk out, you notice I walk out ahead of you. And I wanna stay longer, but I'm not gonna sit here for 33 minutes twiddling my thumbs. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else care to speak? Yes, sir.
I don't know if it's good time, but I'm not on tonight, so I got a couple things I need to take care of. First one is resolution 9.4. Before you guys vote on that, I'd like to have a little conversation, because I'm a little confused, and I need some clarification on that, because it's moving my way. If I could, I'd appreciate that. I also have one thing for future board topics, if you can give me, at the end of the night, that would be great. And then I'm also, sorry, T, asking the board if they would consider to go into an executive session at the end of the night for a meeting to discuss a personnel issue within the highway. And I would ask the board to please excuse the town attorney and the town supervisor from that at the beginning if we could. That's all I have, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Hearing none, we're gonna close the public hearing, or the public forum, and I just wanna make an announcement. According to the town, rules that were adopted in 2023, I've been doing a bad job at this meeting, so I'm gonna try to do better. From here on in the meeting, this is the board's discussion, and please refrain for interruptions. You're welcome to hear what we have to talk about, but from moving on, now it's up to the board. Thank you. We're gonna move on to goods and 5.1, goods and services. We got, Nate?
Yep, so Lori was out on vacation last Thursday when I was hoping to connect with her to go over the list of vendors for whom we might need those things. So I think she's here tomorrow.
She is.
So
Yeah,
she and
was
I
here
will meet
today.
tomorrow and just go over those for particular services. I've got most of a draft of an RFP for attorney services put together. And then Gene, I think you sent a draft of the engineering one. Alex is supposed to be reviewing that to update it, to align it with what he's currently, you know, the services you're expecting from your town engineer today. So I'll ping him again to see if he has any update on that. I'm thinking at the next meeting, you'll at least have the RFP for attorney services and possibly engineering services to review. And authorizing at the next meeting, you know, just issuing that with figuring out dates for when you want proposals back, that type of stuff. I can come up with some recommendations if you want, just to try to align it with some meeting schedules. But we can talk about that next meeting.
Any questions?
Just a point of clarification, Alex had committed to getting that to us for tonight's agenda. So that's just an item that we don't have.
No.
And Nate, I'd like to address your question about the recommendation for a timeline. And I think that we need to have all of our RFPs issued this month and received in October for professional services, so that we can have them wrapped up and ready for January. If we go past that, we're not gonna meet any deadline. So that's just, that's my suggestion for a timeline. We have 2 more meetings this month, to get those results. One more meeting this month.
Oh.
Yeah, I think 3 was in October, Gene.
Oh, yeah. It's October 1st.
Yes.
Yep, so we only have the 17th, so that's next meeting. Have everything wrapped up for, and then, because they've got to be out, they can't be out for just 2 or 3 days.
Is there any reason why we can't meet that?
Certainly the attorney one and the engineering one, I don't see any issue with getting those out. Did you want to do, let's just look at my list again.
There were a few others,
There was CPA and,
right, insurance.
for professional services, but
Oh,
there's
we didn't include
probably
that,
about a dozen at least, service providers, because we've got, the IT services, we've got garbage collection, we've got, individual vendors.
you're
we've got
saying all-
contractors, that,
You're
electricians.
saying the total's 12, roughly?
I
doesn't-
just, from memory, but.
Yeah, that's why I'm meeting with Lori to just go over like, what are those? How many of those do we even have? Because I don't understand the number myself. It's more than 2. But yeah, Gene, you're right. They should go out this month. So I'm gonna have a lot of drafting to do before the next
Well,
meeting.
But Nate, that's why I was asking if it was just too voluminous to get to by the next meeting.
No, it's got to get done. I'll try to get it done I will get it done based on the information I get from Lori and Alex, assuming that I get the information I need from them, and Darren and Greg, insofar as, it's like, okay, so what are we buying? What's the service that we're seeking? What's the scope of work here? So it's, there's 2 weeks to get all that wrapped up. It's got to get done.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Anything else? David, good? Jay?
I'm good.
All right, gonna move on to 5.2, the adoption of the security cameras. You see the thing that Nate prepared, discussions?
The cameras,
Yep.
still says that the supervisor's office gets to view all the cameras?
Correct.
I thought that was just your computer.
Well, it's in my office, not it would be moved from where it is into my office.
So the screen out there is gonna get moved into
Well,
your office?
that's what we,
Well, it doesn't clarify that, so I just
Well,
wanna make sure we're clarifying.
what do you guys want to do?
I don't
I-
think,
Meet the
I think the
judge?
discussion was the supervisor, to Kevin's point, not the supervisor's office, which could lead to include others on a bigger screen, right, exposed?
yeah, I think the screen that's out there that the 2 secretaries or
Mhm.
clerks that sit out there, they don't need to view all the channels of the Young and the Restless out there, so. I think we just need to, just like everybody else, just the basic.
Whatever you wanna do.
I thought it was clear. I thought you were having all access on your computer.
Well, I guess that I understood the supervisor's office, the title of that, to be where the supervisor's desk is, inside the door, not the administrative suite that's got everybody else in, so.
So
I
where's
think we're
that
all
on?
talking the same thing.
We
We're all
are
talking-
talking, we are talking the
We're
same
talking
thing.
the same thing, but
But it's
it
not-
has
gotta
to be
clarify it.
inside the supervisor's office
Office.
proper.
I think that just needs to be clarified. I agree with Kevin.
Yep.
Either move the TV into
We're
that
either
office
drill down to
or-
that, because
Whatever
you've got everything else.
whatever the board wants to do.
The court
The 3 of
department.
us, go ahead.
Is that, how do you want it, the town clerk's office where, I just wanna make sure that, because the ordinance department, how do you want it to be? Because I don't know what to call where Mike's desk is, or where the supervisor's desk is, inside that door, other than the supervisor's office.
Well, that would be the supervisor's office.
And that's how it's listed on this document.
So what's the TV's not listed on there that's out in the other room?
Oh, so if there's something that is outside of that, that would have to be removed. 'Cause it
And
can't
he doesn't have a TV in the supervisor's office.
No, but the board also needs to have the discussion, do you want any of the TVs anywhere? Because you asked us to put something together, so I got with the judge, I got with Mr. Burden. So we have these TVs, that was my mistake, I thought that would have solved the problem when I asked for the TVs way back a year ago. It created more of a problem, so what would you gentlemen like to do with our cameras and security. You asked us to put something together, we did. But by all means, I want all the suggestions and whatever you guys wanna do.
I'd like to see all of the monitors and wall monitors gone.
Okay.
Those, I think, are a security issue more than an asset to security.
Mhm.
Now, repeat what you just said.
All of the large monitors that are displayed for the cameras that are in the hallways and in the department areas and in public view, I'm suggesting they all be removed.
And how many would we have left afterwards that are essential?
None. They're-
Nowhere?
No, the software would be accessible through computers, through the computer monitor only, not on the walls, the wall monitors.
Just as an FYI, the original used to come in to pull all their data, just as an FYI. It's out of sight, out of mind from the public, but that's where the original TV was.
When did that happen? How long ago was that?
Whenever the town board put the
Oh,
security
I
cameras
didn't
in.
know if you knew, like,
I don't know a date off the top of my head.
well, years.
I'm just thinking down the road because of the secure vestibule issue,
Yep.
that all that stuff is gonna be all wrapped up into that. And that's what this final document is gonna be coordinated with for that project. I don't see a need for them.
So you're saying all the cameras will still be there, but the way to view them now will be off of a computer screen rather than a monitor? Is that?
Correct. Yep.
So then right, that's the way it used to be, except for it was on everyone's computer. So
Right,
are we going back to that? What are we?
No, but
No,
it's just,
I'm just clarifying.
well, I'm not trying to change everything that's in here. For the most part, that's in here in Exhibit A, I think is appropriate. And it says where the monitor, who has access to the software to view those. So, those are on the administrator. That's on the supervisors, and that is on
The
the
judge.
judges.
Yep.
Those are the locations that have access to the cameras, to,
Gentlemen?
I guess I don't have a problem with that, it's just that it's a new shot that I haven't thought much about. And I don't know if we can make a decision tonight on this, or this is just a evolving discussion we're having, or?
isn't that what's in the document?
Yeah,
Can I say something on this, because it's, the highway concerns were in there? This needs to be tabled, because there's paperwork and documents that are missing from the 2 weeks ago meeting. The actual resolution that was prepared, the communications back and forth are missing.
Darren, excuse me.
I just want to finish the conversation before we start getting all
Just
over
hold
the
on,
place.
please.
And keep it for, board discussion, so we
Okay.
can get through this issue.
I would hate to see it all back on everybody's computers.
I don't
too.
want it, I don't think
I
it's
agree.
there either.
But
I
that's
agree
where you
100%.
went with that. You
No.
said you were giving him and the judge and
Just me and the judge.
the authorization to say who gets it.
No,
No? Okay.
No,
I
no,
thought that's
no,
what you meant.
no,
You
I
said
don't-
you want to get rid of the monitors.
I don't
Get rid of the
believe that's,
monitors. Access is through the administrator, and you have, and just on the judges and the supervisor's
Right.
computer have access
to it.
Okay.
Not for us to give access to, or
It's a
permission to someone
It's
else.
a
Okay.
security system, that's all.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's fine. I thought you meant that they
I
were
did-
gonna give
I
who
did
they
not.
want
No.
to give access on their
No.
computer, and then we're gonna be back to everybody's gonna have it on their
No,
computer.
that's not what I was proposing.
Okay,
If I
good.
didn't
No,
spell it
don't-
out, Kevin,
just
I
don't want that.
apologize.
No,
Yep,
no, I
yep,
misheard.
Yep.
So, just one of the things I want to point out, hopefully it's maybe evident to you guys, but there's the policy, which is the Word document. Well, maybe it's all PDFs to you guys. Now, the policy that says building security and access policy, that's the thing that I drafted. I drafted it based off of the notes from that meeting amongst Greg, I think Greg, supervisor, the judge. The thing that's titled Exhibit A is the Exhibit A to the resolution that was prepared for the last meeting, which is very duplicative of the policy. It's worded differently because it was prepared by somebody else. So the thing that's called Building Security and Access Policy is what I put together. The Exhibit A thing is just another document, very similar, worded differently. So they're basically meant, I would just call them dual policies right now. If you wanted to go the Exhibit A route, there's some language tweaks I'd probably make to it. But just, that might be confusing to you because it's labeled Exhibit A, which might suggest it's an Exhibit A to the policy. It is not Exhibit A to the policy.
But now the policy is not correct.
The thing titled policy is not correct?
Yes.
Um,
Number 2,
mhm.
camera view access. It says monitors will be all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are talking about not having that.
Right,
And
taking that out.
Right, so I would say, really, we don't even need security the only thing that in security camera view access would be, security camera view access shall be limited to the supervisor and the town judge. Unless you have another person that you want to add to that list.
I don't, I think it's important that the signage statement be there.
The signage?
Yeah,
Yep,
I
yes,
I
the
agree with the
signage is
signage
important,
statement, but
yes.
Nate, in Exhibit A,
Yes,
it does have, I'm looking at 6 different people that have access to different cameras. It says authorized camera viewing by department.
You know,
The assessor's office can look at 6 cameras.
Jay, just to kind of recap where it was, Mike and Judge Fetish and.
Greg Burden.
And Greg got together to present Exhibit A for the last meeting.
Right.
And we had a discussion on that. That got translated and changed to what Nate prepared for the building security and access policy. That's what was on the table for discussion for tonight. The Exhibit A is for reference for where it started.
Right. When you guys tasked us to put
Right.
something together.
So I'm not looking at what it states in Exhibit A as where the conversation's starting from tonight. I was looking at the document that now I understand Nate prepared it, but I didn't know that until tonight. For just what the policy is. From here, I think the resolution gets made for adopting it at next meeting, if we can agree on it.
So then, security camera view access to the bullet will just say, security camera view access shall be restricted to the town supervisor, the town court judge, and then I'll just do a catch-all, and other persons authorized by a resolution of the town board, if you ever feel like you wanna
By
change
the
that.
town board.
By the town board.
Correct. You okay with that, Kevin?
that's fine.
Mr. Dave, you good with that?
I'm kind of missing something here. I must have been sleeping last meeting or whatever. But, so right now you're saying 3 people have access to the cameras in their departments? Or,
Right now, multiple people have access to multiple
Right.
cameras.
but now you're saying the supervisor, the judge, and,
That was Gene's recommendation, yes.
so then, if somebody wants to know if something's happening during the day,
They're
does
not-
anybody else have any access to seeing if something's troublemakers in the hallway or something?
Nope.
Without you guys not being here?
Nope,
Right, I think 2.1 goes away.
2.1.
Yeah, 2.1 access by office would be deleted, because there won't be any monitors anymore. That was, the point of 2.1 was to say which monitors in which department could see which cameras. And right now, I think proposal is all the monitors go away.
What's your thoughts, Kevin, Dave, or Jay?
I don't think they're needed.
Okay, Jay?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the monitors either.
Okay,
It's a production killer.
yep. Then I'm okay with that, if that's what you guys wanna do.
recommendations for items 3 through 7.
3 through,
7, I'm fine with those.
Three through 7.
And for clarity, Nate, there'll be no Exhibit A.
Correct.
So what was the purpose of the monitors in the first place? Just.
originally, they were on everyone's computers back in
Okay, right,
years
right.
ago.
What was the reason to have it on everyone's computers?
I wasn't here, I don't know I don't know what the
I don't
reason
know,
was.
was that even granted, or did it just occur?
I don't know.
It was not implemented in what was, is my understanding of what was decided on. It just was implemented behind the scenes, so cameras were installed for security, then the monitors were put in, and it just got blown out of proportion.
And I made it worse when I thought the screens would be better.
So
Well,
Yep,
yeah,
I understand what you were doing with the
Yep,
street,
yep,
but now we
yep,
decided that it's not.
yep, it was, it was not the right move.
Well, it was better than what was
What
happening.
was going on, correct. So if that's what we're gonna do with them, if you guys are fine with that, I'm fine with it.
I guess I don't have a problem with anything we're doing here. It's just that we're doing like a 180 degrees change of what it was set up originally, and so I'm just trying to follow the logic, but it sounds like it just kind of fell into place. So I'm just,
It might have been developed
Yeah.
over time, I don't know.
okay.
I don't know of a town board decision that put the camera viewing software on everybody's computer. It was just implemented that way.
Okay.
The cameras, we had a big, long, drawn-out, good dialogue about the security of the building and where the cameras were. There were 15 or so originally, and then there were like 13 added throughout the course of the project, so that's what the camera was. And then it got put onto everybody's computer, so
Yeah.
that's what wasn't a
Yeah,
policy.
okay, okay.
Would you want to see a monitor in the computer room in case Mike's not here, if TrueView has to come in?
No, they can do it remotely. I mean, I don't,
If they don't need one,
I don't know that.
They should be able,
I know they would
yeah,
used to
they
just
should be
come
able
here
to
into
do
the
it
water
right
department.
online, right?
Extract the data, that's all.
I'd be really shocked if they
Okay.
did one.
Okay.
I don't think that's necessary.
I don't think
What would
it's
you like done with the monitors?
How many do you have?
let's save that for a
6.
different discussion,
Yeah.
but we can,
Still curious to how many
We
we
can
have.
shut them off, then figure out what we're gonna do with them.
Store 'em.
Storm,
Till we figure out, we
yeah.
gotta move on.
Storm, yep. So you good with Nate preparing?
So yeah, I've just updated the policy, so if you folks want to add this as a resolution to the next meeting, I'll prepare the resolution and send the policy over to Adam.
You guys good with that?
I'm good
Yes.
with it.
I am,
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, gentlemen, on that? We're gonna move on to the ordinance. 5.3, ordinance department head discussion. Mr. Jean, or board, everyone sees the documents that I prepared or sent you along with Mr. Alberts.
Yeah, but I don't,
I also,
what are we doing?
you asked me to speak to Miss Diane, I spoke to her and
Yeah.
I notified you guys of that. She's willing to do it, but it's up to the boards, what you guys wanna do.
I don't know what that means, Mike.
You had asked me, I think it was Kevin, asked me to see if Diane would accept being the department head until we do the
Interim
interim.
Mhm.
And I asked her, I spoke with her, she said she's doing it now and she would continue to do it.
Okay.
Great.
Unless there was something, she goes, unless there's something I'm supposed to do that I'm not doing that I'm unaware of. So, it's up to you guys.
we made a decision at the last meeting,
Yeah.
related to the department head as far as the code certification, so the discussion, all of this is kind of behind me.
You asked me to ask her, I did, she said she would accept it, so
Great, have her do it.
Okay?
gonna make a motion to do that, Jay?
I have-
Someone's gotta make a motion, correct?
For what?
For what?
To
Yeah, what
make,
do-
to make,
Was she appointed at the last meeting? I don't remember.
what do you wanna do, Kevin?
Do you want, I'm just confused, like, what
I am
civil
too.
service title is she gonna work under if you're putting in her in some position? If she's just working like she is now, I guess that's okay.
It's-
She's still a clerk,
I
she's a senior
think,
clerk.
I think Mike's thinking it's the, civil service doesn't care if we call somebody a department head, they care about the actual job duties that somebody's doing. Mike is, I suppose, formally saying, let's designate her, change her title to department head, but to Kevin's point, yeah, we need to contact civil service, go through that process.
But that hasn't been done, right?
No, that hasn't been done.
No, because we wanted to see if she would accept.
All right, so if she'll accept, is that the next step?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to go through that route.
Why do we have to go through that route for a temporary
Interim.
issue?
I don't think we do. I thought what are you asking for? That's-
I was just asking to make her interim, because to Gene's point was, when we do the evaluation of the whole building, we might come up with something different, and this just solves our problem right now.
So, it's an issue of salary and time, and if she's willing to have the responsibilities of the department head on an interim basis, she keeps whatever her job title is and her responsibilities for that.
Right.
We appoint her the interim department head once we can negotiate what the extra time is that is gonna be associated with that position.
Right.
And whatever compensation that we negotiate, and do that as a separate stipend, separate position, separate everything, so it's not convoluted and mixed up into her civil service.
Yep,
That's my suggestion.
yep.
I think that's a good suggestion of having a stipend for this, additional duties, which are above and beyond her normal clerk duties. Cause that, I think, covers this gap between, cause eventually you're gonna hire somebody
Right.
full-time. And for that, that's where we need to work with civil service about like, what exactly is the job, the qualifications, we've talked about not wanting that person to be a CEO.
Right.
Just making sure that we've got the correct title identified with civil service.
So is there any action needed right now?
Not until you come back with money and more conversation has to be made with her.
Yeah, I guess-
The other part of the conversation that we had was that we're going through the process of evaluating the feasibility of the entire structure of the Public Works Department.
Correct.
And this was something that may be able to be rolled into that or not, and that's, if we go through, I'm just saying as part of the discussion, if we go through the process of adopting a civil service position for the ordinance department, the ordinance and code department with a special civil service title and job description,
We're
we're
locked
stuck
into
with that for 10 years.
Right, and that's why I wanted to do an interim, just to solve the problem now and not box us in.
So I think we're good, right? I mean,
So Diane has not been, made the department head, to Kevin's point. We don't know how much money she wants, and presumably the extra hours that you folks are asking of her.
Right.
And so, there's that piece needing to be filled in. Mike wants to just designate her as the department head today and maybe work out those things
Well,
later.
I wanna have the conversation, and she's, at this point, her concerns was, she just wanted to know what other expectations the board was expecting of her. She feels she's doing it now, but she just wanted to make sure. I wanted to come back to the board, tell you what she said, and if the board would like to schedule her to come in so that we can have that conversation with her to figure out a stipend or whatever you gentlemen wanna do, then we can do that. Or unless you got another avenue.
Do we just ask her to make a proposal for what she thinks she needs, and then we accept it, or?
So I mean, the department head, right? This is the person who's supervising the other employees in that office.
Administrative part of the office.
Right,
Right.
yeah, I
No.
mean, but
Not,
that,
not the
that's a piece of it.
That's a, that person is going to be the person responsible for everybody that's in the department,
Right.
not
Okay.
just inside the walls of the administration.
Okay.
I don't, did you want to say something?
I think Mike's distinction is the person who's the department head won't have any authority to direct the code enforcement officer
No.
to do a particular thing
No.
within the scope of the CEO's professional responsibility.
Okay. I understand the distinction.
But there is still, you know, like, if the code officer or building inspector doesn't show up to work on time, then the expectation presumably would be that Diane would remedy that.
Right. Or the paperwork's not handed in or something like that.
Right, or they're not following up in a timely fashion on a complaint, or, you know, whatever the issue might be. So I'm not sure if Diane understands, like, you know, that's part of the board's ask of what she's doing.
I think she understands it. She always tried to do it. Her example she gave me is she always tried to do that before. She just didn't have no, hey, you gotta go, these are late, you gotta do it. And then it was up to them whether they did or not, so.
Do we need to draft something from the board, the expectations? Job expectations?
I think that that's fair, but for the,
She would become,
but for the ability to start having her do whatever she's doing and needs to do, I think it's important that we do appoint her as department head, go into the negotiation with her on what her salary wants to be, and if it's retroactive for whatever time it is, it's fair for what she's gonna do, but I don't know what that dollar amount is that she would need, or I don't know what that increased time is that it's gonna require, and how much she can afford to put in.
well, we have department heads come in quarterly to come to the town boards to give a report quarterly. So she would be obligated to do that 4 times a year, correct?
As the interim, I don't know if I wanna really
All right,
get outside of that, I'm not saying no, I'm just saying that it's interim, she's part-time, that's a full-time job description that you're talking about for the department head is coming in but under normal circumstances, yes. They
Whatever
come in
you guys wanna-
quarterly to do that.
you wanna put like something together, expectations then, to submit to her? What do you wanna do?
I think we appoint her tonight as department head.
I'll make the motion to appoint Diane as the interim code department head for code enforcement
And ordinance.
and ordinance.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
I have none.
So we'll have to,
What are we gonna do about dollar amount and all that?
yeah, dollar amount or a stipend.
Mike, I would ask that you ask her for her requirements on dollar amount and how much time it's gonna take for her in addition to her duties, so that we can negotiate that and assign that at a,
Put that in a resolution and do this in a resolution, correct?
yeah,
I'll talk to her, she'll be back tomorrow,
okay,
okay?
yep,
I'll have her put something together and forward it to you, gentlemen,
okay.
okay? Anything else?
Well, Jay had a motion and it was seconded,
Oh,
so.
I'm sorry.
No, but so do we just table that until we get that information? Are we gonna have the discussion and wrap it all up in?
Well, to Kevin's point, we should tie that in with the resolution, right, Kevin, the stipend or whatever the pay is, right?
Well, I would like to see a resolution on the, we've never, I don't think we've ever done that without a
Dollar amount.
monetary amount tied to it. And a resolution, I mean, I guess you could do the motion to allow her to continue what she's doing, but in an official manner. Right? I mean, that's where I see the motion going,
Right.
that we're allowing her to continue on with,
But we could, the motion could be just to, I mean, the motion to appoint her could be for the attorney to draft a resolution for next meeting to do that. We can compile all the stuff, Mike, with the ask and everything, and have that final discussion next week. But I think it's important for her to be able, people in the office to be able to say, I gotta go to this desk if I got a question or a problem.
yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with it.
You gotta amend your motion then?
I'll amend the motion to appoint, I'm not sure why I'm amending the motion, frankly. I'm saying I'm making a motion to appoint Diane as interim department head of code enforcement and ordinance. It's still interim. I'm not sure why I'm amending the motion.
Cause we don't have a
Because
salary.
it was, the suggestion was that the motion was to have the attorney, the motion is to have the attorney put the resolution together for it, instead of,
But that means I wouldn't be making a motion to appoint Diane tonight. I'm making a motion for the attorney to draft a resolution to appoint Diane as the interim department head. But until such time, we have the rest of the documents compiled.
yeah.
That's kind of wordy. I'm just not, I'm not getting why I'm doing that.
Well,
I'm not sure I would.
I think Kevin's point is valid, and it's policy, and it's the board's,
Yep,
it's the
I
board's
agree.
policy to do resolutions and not motions, so.
And that's fine. Then
fair.
I can't appoint her tonight, right?
Right. Not unless we do an ad hoc resolution.
Right, which your rules allow if a majority of the board consents to doing that.
We can do it.
But if you want to wait until the next meeting and have the resolution specifically identifying the stipend and anything else that you feel should be in it at the time, you know, the additional hours or something like that.
But then we're gonna negotiate that at the next meeting. It's gonna get bumped again to the next meeting?
Well,
Because how are we gonna know what her ask is?
I mean,
She's gonna have to have it before the next.
All right.
meeting.
Right.
And the board either accepts it or they don't.
If it's in the resolution,
Yeah.
vote for it or not.
Yep.
But once
Exactly.
we have a resolution and we have a conversation and a discussion, that can
Okay,
change the
perfect.
resolution, and that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good, I'm fine with
That
that.
happens.
Any more discussion on your
So you're
motion?
gonna pull your,
Yeah, I'll withdraw my motion completely.
Completely.
Okay.
You know what you gotta do, Nate?
yes.
Okay,
All right, we're gonna move on to code discussion. We just had that wastewater treatment plant update, Mr. Burden.
As you see there, in the document from VNL, that we're expecting a time extension request due to the main motor control board and switchboard being delayed for shipment.
Matco paid for the expediting that?
I don't believe they had to pay for the
They
expedition.
didn't for that one?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions on that, gentlemen?
I don't see anything in this that is a dollar issue.
This is just a heads up that this could be coming, will be coming, and explaining why we believe it's going to be coming.
Okay.
There's no actual request yet.
Okay, I'm confused about that, because the letter that was here for the agenda is dated August 28th, and the very last paragraph is that it's imperative that the town proceed with this extension request in a timely manner. So I'm unsure as to why that's not an ask, and what is the timeline if,
That's the overlap, isn't it?
Say it again?
Wait a minute, I'm trying to pull it up here.
The request at the last meeting was that BNL provided the board a heads up that the time extension request will be coming. That's why we asked BNL to provide this letter.
okay. I don't think my question has changed.
Is that not what we discussed in the meeting? Was
Yeah.
that-
It is.
I have to go with Gene on this. It says right here in the thing, we need to do something as a town.
Well,
I'm not disagreeing that.
I think the paragraph before that lays out the, Barton and LaJudas expects to have the final bypass plan and change order request from Kubricki by September 5. And then they're basically laying out for you the timeline of what's gonna happen in the next 3 weeks. And then they end by saying, please don't delay in processing this once they get their stuff together.
This is really just a warning letter, saying, hey, we'll have something to you for the meeting of the 17th.
Right, and when it comes,
That's
you'll
it,
be able
that's
to
all
sign
I'm
it,
seeing.
right?
That's what it looks like.
So, thank you.
No,
What
that-
costs are associated with it? And
This or the extension?
so this is the extension.
They have to do that part. I don't know what the costs are.
Are there fines associated?
As far as with the DEC,
Yes.
they have spoken to the DEC and they're willing to work with the town, knowing that we're moving forward. And this is not a delay on the town's part.
On our fault.
Okay.
Yep.
Willing to work with the town does not say
Willing-
there's not, so just wrap all that stuff in there.
Sure.
If there's, this is presented to me as a time extension. Time extensions are only time, they're not cost issues. So I don't wanna be surprised if there's costs.
Well, the conversation that
But I
Barton
wanna know if
LaJudas
it's
had
there.
with us was that she had spoke to them, and the DEC, at this point, they were gonna work with us, and there was no threat of any fine or anything at this point.
I want it in writing. I want it it's gotta be it's gotta
From,
be in it.
all right, we'll get that from, DEC guy.
But there needs to be some specifics to the time extension.
Mhm.
This is very generic. In
In
regards to
An
time.
extension, an
Yes.
extension of how many days,
Yes.
and what it is.
Yep.
And who's it for? Who's this time extension for? Which prime contract?
So I will note in here, you might see it on the second page. It says the completion for contract 1A will be delayed until early 2027 to complete all of their work. So
January or March?
good question, doesn't say, but to Gene's point, I think there's questions, because if I'm a contractor and pushed out into 2027, they're likely to say increased costs because of labor at the very
Yep.
least, right?
Labor rates.
In fact, prevailing wage will go up by then anyway, so.
Right, so, okay, all right.
Anything else, gentlemen?
No.
No.
Kevin? Okay, moving on to municipal solutions, 7.18.
This is a contract with Municipal Solutions. They're the, I'll say, financing advisors for the town when it comes to your bonds. They are proposing to do work related to the WIA grant application and the related bond resolution, just to help assist the town with processing all of those things. This is something that Barton and LaJudas recommends, and it needs to be apparently submitted as part of the grant application package. I spoke with Lisa, and it should have been brought to the town's attention and acted on at the time when we did the bond resolution, public interest order, and seeker. Should have just been rolled in with all that. Apparently, when they were looking at everything they need for the application, they said, oh, you don't have just a regular contract with the town. And it's like, no, it's per project. Please get this to us. So this has been provided. Any questions, I guess? I mean, I've looked at it. It's their normal contract. I don't have any issues with it.
Ability to terminate?
Yes, let me. Language.
My other question to this, Nate, was that if we move forward and it turns into a full service, are we bound to them at that point, once we do this?
No, I mean, this is the type of service that you can cancel. I mean, they're fiscal advisors, and they will, you know, basically shop bonds around. And so it should be terminable at will, basically, because they just charge an hourly rate for fees for services. Yeah, it's on page 2 in the middle. So we can cancel them at any time. I don't know of any reason why we'd be bound to continue with them. There are only 2 services like this I'm aware of in New York. It's Municipal Solutions and Fiscal Advisors. There might be others. Maybe Gene knows some, but I've worked with these folks for a while.
Trying to think who Doug works with.
I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Oh.
our
But with the timing,
Doug Goodfriend, I can't remember who he worked,
Doug Goodfriend's an attorney with ORIC.
or they do it as well.
Yeah, they're bond counsel.
Yeah.
So the Municipal Solutions and Fiscal Advisors are basically, they sell the bonds. They list them for sale and handle the actual closing of a sale of a bond, and then they do also help you with cash flow analysis and coordinating with the funding agencies.
I was gonna say, we don't have time to shop around because the filing for that grant is really close, right? So-
Yep.
Right.
I don't have any issue with it.
None.
Kevin?
I'm good.
Okay. We're gonna move on to, 7.2, Mr. Boland's rezone. He did not submit any paperwork, so we have nothing with that. 7.3, update from, Attorney Chris Fisher. He is asking, called this afternoon for, attorney-client privilege for the wastewater treatment. I told him that we would try to fit him in around 7:30 for a phone call. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask for that. We're gonna move on. 7.4 is the update from Bartlett Judas. That is the, Greg, that's the,
I can help with this, Mike. It's
you
the,
got this?
yep, this is the letter that has attached the 2 applications that will actually be submitted relating to the WIA application and the SRF financing application. So they've attached the drafts, and then there's a resolution later on authorizing Mike to sign the drafts and otherwise finalize them as needed in the event an answer on the applications changes from what they've potentially proposed in them, to the extent they've proposed anything in it.
Any questions?
I've none.
I have none.
Good.
Okay, moving on. 8.1, dog report. You, everyone see the dog report?
Yep.
Okay. Now we're gonna move to 8.2, DBW report. Mr. Burden.
The report is there. If anybody has any questions, my other ask is that I have posted for several weeks now for wastewater treatment plant operators on the signboard and the town website with no applicants received. I'm asking if we could possibly, one, post it to Indeed, because that's gonna be the dollar amount that we're gonna have to allocate. And B, I've been speaking to the union steward, and he's willing to sign off on allowing us, the town, to offer more money for the wastewater treatment plant operator, if the board is willing to be able to allow me to offer a higher dollar amount than the CBA amount.
Do you have a number in mind?
It's there in my request. For the chief, I'm asking for $34, and for the wastewater operator, I'm asking $31.
You said it sounds, you got the okay from the steward,
Yes, but he's willing to,
but can he have enough pull, or does the whole union still have to?
speaking with the town attorney, he suggested that even the steward can write a letter, or myself, and he can sign off on it.
I mean, the union members should vote on it, but if we get a letter from the steward saying the union has approved it, what they do internally is on them.
But we have to wait for that vote though, right?
I mean, at this point, I think the advertisement of the position shouldn't be a problem. We've talked to them, he's told them, he's gotten indication of agreement. Greg wants to get the position posted. I think as long as, you know, if we hire someone at a higher rate than what's listed in the union contract, then the union would have to grieve us paying that person above that rate, which would result in us lowering that rate, which might make that person upset. You know, at some point, I believe that this will get worked out with the union. It's just that Greg has had tremendous difficulty in getting any response from the union about this.
So why don't we follow Greg's ask and allow him to put it on Indeed, and then we can work towards a resolution for next meeting for the salary issue, and you can work out a letter with the union on accepting it or not, and we can incorporate that into the discussion.
Okay.
Good with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
How'd you make out with your laborers? Didn't you advertise for laborers?
I did. I received 8 applications. There was none that had any kind of experience that would help me in the fields that we have. So as of right now, I haven't set up any interviews for laborers. I don't really need laborers. I need operators. I have plenty of laborers.
Did you advertise for operators, or did you advertise for laborers?
Yeah, I've operated for everything. So I don't. I'm reaching out to see if anybody had any kind of experience, if they had any experience that we could hire a laborer and they needed 1 more year of qualification, then I would have went that route, but none of the applicants had any type of experience that would have helped me.
Greg, when do you anticipate the generator project being 100%?
Yesterday at Shenango Heights, we made sure that it's single phase there. They bought a 3-phase generator. We had to put a phase converter in. So that was all figured out yesterday. So the generator company will be back to do the actual transfer switch, so we can make sure everything transfers properly. So I believe that was 2 to 3 weeks out. Then that would be 100% complete.
Is that the only one that's not done?
Yes.
Got anything else?
Nope.
Any questions for Mr. Greg?
I'm all set.
Gene?
No?
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, attorney's report.
You'll see my email summary there. You'll note I am asking for, because I labeled it as an attorney-client session, but it could instead be an executive session relating to personnel as a result of the investigation you asked me to conduct.
Okay. That it?
We had talked last week about having a discussion about the audits and the bill paying, but that didn't get on the agenda, so.
It made the
can't hear you at all.
Sorry, that made it on the initial draft, but I think Jody took it off when she didn't receive any attachments.
For what?
It's just what she told me.
Can you hear what he's saying? We
Yeah.
can't hear you guys. We're like,
Adam said.
Jody took it off due to a lack of attachments.
what did you ask? What was your first question?
We had decided that, I had asked for a conversation about the audits and the schedule of when we review them at the last meeting. And we had put it on the agenda for tonight. It isn't on the agenda, so before we get into section 9, after we got through new business and department heads, I'm asking why it wasn't on the agenda for discussion. Adam is saying that Jody told him that she took it off because there were no attachments associated with it.
And that, you're talking about the audits from the bookkeeper, correct?
Yes.
She was on vacation all last week, scheduled. And I didn't know that until after the meeting, so she was gone.
I don't know how that's a relevant issue. There's no attachments. Just if there's no attachments to an item, is that the policy, is that the practice that it's just not gonna be on an agenda?
So it should have been on there like Mr. Boland's.
Yes.
All right, I will clarify that with her tomorrow.
I feel that way, don't you?
Yep.
I feel it should be on, if we made that decision the meeting prior.
And if
then it
there's
should
no
be on there.
attachments, there's no attachments. She should have left it on.
It's a discussion item.
Yep.
But I don't see it as a huge, long issue. I'd still like to have the discussion.
Okay.
It's up to you guys.
Go
Got
ahead.
plenty of time tonight.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
I don't have any information in front of me, so go for it.
Go for it.
We have just, we have gotten away from the financial responsibility as a board of looking at all of,
Resolutions.
all of our expenses. And we don't review those expenses, and I understand that we are doing what is minimally required. No, I'm sorry, I don't wanna mislead that. We are doing what's required. But it does not allow us to look at those expenses and actually be fiscally responsible for it. Jody is preparing the audits, giving them to the clerk to do a summary of it, and then we are looking at a resolution every week that we just look at the abstracts that are a summary line item, and we're not looking at the actual individual. When I look at this abstract, 18,
Yep.
there is no information there at all about what it is, who it is, what it is. And I do not believe that how we got to where we are right now meets our responsibility as a town board member to do our fiduciary responsibility to review these audits the way they're being presented to us. It is a requirement that 3 board members approve every single bill that comes in.
Didn't you guys used to come in and do that
We did. We would have.
years ago?
We would have a stack that was 2 feet tall, and we would sign, 3 board members would sign them.
Yep.
And we would all know what was going on. That translated into where we are right now, and this, I think, is an enormous area for exposure and liability for us as a town to be approving bills being paid by what the town board is being presented. And if we're doing it by electronics, then we better be seeing every single voucher scanned and put together in this package so that we can look at them and say, yes, I understand what that bit, why am I paying or authorizing
Exactly.
USA Blue Book for $278.95? there's a voucher that goes with that, there's an invoice that goes with that, and there's a paper trail that is required for three board
Three
members
board members.
to sign off. The three board member requirement is because it is a majority of the five board member board.
Correct.
So I have a real problem with this. Outside of that, the second issue is doing these every meeting is a time waste. We pay our bills once a month, we should be reviewing them once a month. And that's what I wanted to discuss.
Where did it get changed from when, I remember being in here and the board members would come in the clerk's office and sit there and go through them. Sometimes you guys would do them at the board meetings. When did that all change? Or was there a reason, or did it just happen?
2017, 2018, there was a significant change in that policy, in that timeframe,
Okay.
to get away from the actual three board members signing each one.
I absolutely agree, three board members should be looking at every single document that I look at.
Did you come in separately, obviously, because it would be a quorum if you all were here at the same time,
Right.
correct?
Correct. Right, so we,
You would just come in,
yep,
okay.
Used to come in the clerk's
right,
office.
and I'm not suggesting that we need to do that. I'm suggesting that if the information is here, if the documentation for those vouchers and those invoices that are attached to each voucher are part of the abstract. See, the abstract is only the cover page and what the clerk signs off on. Somehow we've gotta see those bills. Otherwise, I think we as a town board have got a real issue with the state if they come in and say our books are wrong or we're not doing our jobs right.
I agree 100% with that. You wanna do it all electronically? You want everything scanned and sent?
I would
What
want
do you
it
guys want?
electronically.
I would love it electronically.
Okay. Then I have no problem with that. I absolutely
But are
believe.
you gonna be able to do that every 2 weeks, or is that gonna be a monthly?
That's a month.
It's gotta be a monthly, there's no way you're gonna do that every 2 weeks.
I will say that going to a monthly abstract will likely incur some late fees with certain vendors. It's difficult to keep up.
I completely disagree with you.
I can't hear you, Adam.
Going to a monthly abstract will be problematic. It'll likely incur some late fees with certain vendors.
You have to identify who, because
Spectrum is one of them,
is it because of timing?
yes.
Well, Spectrum's not an
But
issue because
you
that is
know
a
that bill-
utility. There are certain invoices that can be paid prior to the authorization of them, and the utility was one that was expressly pointed out.
And it's probably the same every month, isn't it?
Close to it.
Yeah. I mean, you know that's coming.
Spectrum, NICEAG, those are all
Utility.
utilities.
Yep.
So this can be easily displayed from her records to, I mean, it's not gonna look like a jungle, is it? It's for, so you're saying, yeah, like right here, this just gives a heading, like whatever we're talking about, you pick out one, then there might be 5 or 6 different, vendor applications. It's easy to trace them right down to the last bill. Okay, if it could be done, that'd be great.
All the vouchers have the bills strapped right to
So
them.
she can do that just by pressing the button, she can furnish all that, right?
No,
Or,
No.
two buttons.
It's a button on the scanner.
you're gonna have to scan them.
Is there gonna, she's doing that already though, right?
At some point, they're
Are they?
I doubt they're going electronically.
Right, I don't believe so.
Are you telling me for the last 17 years that I've been on the board, those 2 to 4 foot stacks are stored somewhere in this office, in this building?
Yep.
Yeah,
In the
keep all the
clerk's
vouchers.
office? Where?
No, they're in that big room.
Well, then,
They're right to the ceiling.
and when that gets full, what are you gonna do with them?
I have no idea.
That's why they gotta be electronic.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you.
There's a disposition schedule that dictates that.
Okay.
I would like to see them electronically. I would like to, if I have to sign off, I'm sign off. I wanna make sure we're doing it right.
Okay.
We gotta look at the bills.
Gotta look at the bills. I absolutely agree. We good with that?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
your second point was for every 2 weeks or once a month?
Once a month.
Once a month, I think you're not gonna do them every 2 weeks.
Right, just asking.
I just don't think you're
Yep.
gonna be able to.
So the town law 118, which talks about this, it says by resolution, you can authorize payment in advance of the audit of claims for public utility services, postage, freight, and express charges. All such claims shall be presented at the next regular meeting for audit. And so, I'm wondering if, Adam's identified that he's concerned about some of these bills having a shorter payment period. I don't know, not trying to load Adam's plate up, but I think obviously move forward with what you're doing. But if he's identifying certain expenses that, or, charges that will be incurred by whatever vendors, maybe getting a list of those vendors from him. And then, I'm not saying you have to do this, but you could do 2 audits still, one with those vendors, really specifically focused on those to avoid late charges. Do the resolution that allows you to do prepayment on utilities and things like that. And then also do your big one, that's the ones where you're not getting any late fees. Just a thought. You can tell me to shut up.
I know that if I submit an invoice, I know when they've gotta be in by to get paid in time. That's something that the town has to work with the vendors to educate them to know that if you wanna be paid on the 1st, we cut checks on the 10th. That's when we cut checks, so.
I don't know that Spectrum's gonna care about that.
I don't know, but Spectrum comes in every month. It's just a rolling
Right,
issue. It
right.
just comes in, it
That's
just,
to your point.
it just comes in. But that's Spectrum, and that's an isolated issue. Everybody else just get your invoices in. If we don't pay, they've gotta be in on the 15th, and somebody sends them in on the 17th. I mean, that just is an education issue.
Yep. I agree with that.
But eventually, everything's in the cycle. We're not doing anything different by paying them by every month instead of every 2 weeks. This is just,
So you'd send these out to all 5 members?
Sure, why not? How are we gonna verify that 3 board members actually looked at it? Did you, back when you used to come in, did you sign off on them? I don't know how you did it way back then.
yeah, we wrote our names on them.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, just asking. You good, Kevin?
Yeah.
David?
I'd like to try it.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta try. I mean,
Yes.
We gotta implement it and
Everyone should be looking at every single one of them vouchers. Okay? Gonna move on. Anything else, Nate? Oh,
No, I was
You were gone.
outside of mine.
all right, supervisor's report, I don't have one, but I do have a couple things. Miss Jody, our copier went, she's got a couple quotes, so you guys all right with her and Lori getting in? We'll go with the cheaper one, and we gotta get a copier up there, and blue ink all over the place, so. Good with that? Just letting you know.
Well, just-
Yeah, yeah.
You've got a line item for it.
Yeah,
money
I
in your
know, but
budget.
I'm just letting you know.
go
If
for it.
anyone had an objection, now's the time to tell me. The other thing, Chuck from Blue Cross.
Mike,
What?
I don't wanna belabor the point, but honestly, I don't want the town board tied up in those kind of
'Kay.
decisions, because if you're doing it, everybody's gonna be sending that stuff just to get ahead.
That's fine. I'm
I-
just trying to build something, that's all. Just being cautious with the board. I won't do it again. Moving on, Chuck from Blue Cross would like, I guess he normally comes in September, to talk about all the insurance policies and all of that. He would like to get scheduled on the 17th of September, in the beginning of the meeting, under old business, to give his report and suggestions. You okay? That's all I got.
Okay.
Isn't the seventeenth pretty loaded?
It's just what he asked.
I know, but that's why I'm asking.
I haven't, well,
I have no idea.
I haven't looked at the 17th. I see only one thing.
Okay.
That's it.
Did,
Um,
Mike,
but-
what was the, maybe I'm blanking on this, you guys interviewed the firms for the comp plan update, right?
That's the seventeenth.
That's the 17th.
We've got about 20 RFPs to go through, resolutions for, on the 17th.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So can he come in October?
I'll call him tomorrow and ask him. He just asked if he could be put on the 17th.
October 1st.
It's really close to the end of September.
What's that?
October 1st is really close to the end of September.
Probably the big thing is just getting it in the budget, because I'm assuming there's an increase which needs to
There
be
is
budgeted
increases,
for.
yeah.
and Mike's got a deadline for his submission of the budget to you guys.
I mean, if it's gotta be the 17th, it's gotta be the 17th, but I get the information so the conversation can be
Yep.
just focused in on what we gotta
Yep.
have.
I'll get it tomorrow. That's all I got, gentlemen. We do have, resolutions to do. Nate, you gonna go through them?
Sure. Resolution 9.1, approving abstract number 18.
So moved.
Second,
Discussion.
I have none.
None.
Done.
Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Warden,
Aye.
Mr. Simonis,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson,
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert,
No.
Mr. Lumsden.
Aye.
9.2, resolution rescinding a prior declaration of surplus equipment and replacing with a new declaration of surplus equipment.
So move.
Second.
Discussion.
Is it solely just related to the one item?
Yes.
And what was the change?
The vehicle, so it goes from the 2011 Western, and maybe Darren can help, right, Darren?
Yep.
You want to keep the 2011 Western Star and get rid of the 2007 International. Right.
Okay. Thanks for clarification.
Mr. Warden,
Aye.
Mr. Simonis,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson,
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert,
Aye.
Mr. Lumsden.
Aye.
Resolution 9.3, requiring use of diligent by town boards.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. I have concerns with this January 1 going
1980, I do too, Mike.
1980.
That's just an excessive amount
I
of
don't know
data.
how we're gonna physically do all that with the staff that we got. I have an issue, that's the only part of that resolution I have an issue with.
I don't think it's a staff issue. I think it's a general fund issue, or a fund balance issue. We've gotta spend millions of dollars in fund balance. I say that's part of this resolution. We get it done, we outsource it, get them scanned.
Oh,
we can get-
outsource it, but
But back to 1980, by that date. This doesn't say it's done by staff.
okay, valid point. When we were having a discussion about it, I thought that was coming up, so my mistake.
It was only, it was brought up by
Got it,
staff, and was not part of the discussion.
be outsourced. Yep.
So then, I mean, Adam's sitting right there, and Renee's in the back, just as they should be noting this to include in their budget requests, money for outsourcing of the digitization of these documents. Just is the takeaway, and I wanna make sure they,
Yeah,
th-
what's your thought on that? Do they put it in their budget, or is the board gonna have that discussion about outsourcing that part of it?
I don't think it's a budget item right now until they vet out who's gonna do it and how much it's gonna cost. It's gonna come from fund balance.
Okay,
That's my proposition, it's my expectation.
Okay,
comes from fund balance, and if we get them in January, it's a line item change from the fund balance into a line item for document, scanning, whatever it is.
I agree with that. So it's not the clerk or the code's responsibility at this point.
To do it,
To do it.
To do it.
it is. The function of it to do it is. It's actually the clerk's
clerk's.
issue. It's actually the clerk's issue to do it, because those are the documents.
Yep.
But the vehicle to do it, money-wise, I do not see it as, it was never my expectation that it would be a current staff labor issue to have to do that.
I'm good with that. It's a discussion that we're gonna have later.
I'm fine.
I assume we're gonna start at the near future and go backwards in time. Cause I'm okay for that. I don't wanna start at 1980 and start coming this way.
No, I hope not.
I really
hope
hope it
not.
doesn't matter.
Cause we
As long
find
as
out
all
it's
get
not
to what it
going,
does,
if it's
just
not
get
going
it.
too well,
I-
then we can
Well, you're gonna
adjust
hire
it.
some, whatever, just go.
But, yeah,
But for this resolution, you okay, Kevin?
I'm perfectly fine with this resolution.
Okay. Any more discussion?
I have none.
Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Warden?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
No.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert?
Aye.
Mr. Lumsden?
No.
Resolution 9.4, granting the union grievance and authorizing payment.
So moved.
Second.
I have a-
Discussion?
I have a question. Why is it coming out of highway fund balance?
My thought when drafting was it's highway employees, I assume, are the highway
But that
employees
money
not?
wouldn't have gone into the highway. That would have gone into our fund balance
Yeah.
if we were removing.
Are highway employees paid out of general fund or the highway fund?
It's the health insurance and dental would be, it doesn't come out of highway.
No.
Okay, yeah, if that's the case, I didn't
No,
understand
it
that.
would come out of the general
It
fund.
comes out of general fund.
Right.
Okay.
Who should not be out of highway.
That would be just the one change to it then.
Change to general fund.
Yep.
Any more discussion?
I have none.
Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Warden?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert?
Aye.
Mr. Lumsden?
Aye.
Resolution 9.5, authorizing budget line item adjustments.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
None.
Is that you, Jay?
Yes.
I have none.
I have none.
Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Warden?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert?
Aye.
Mr. Lumsden?
Aye.
Resolution 9.6, authorizing municipal solutions contract.
So moved.
Second. Discussion?
I have
None.
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 Mr. Warden?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert?
Aye.
Mr. Lumsden?
Aye.
9.7, resolution authorizing submission of funding applications.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I have none.
None.
Done.
Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Warden?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert?
Aye.
Mr. Lumsden?
Aye.
Resolution 9.8, approving temporary access license agreement regarding 60 Wisconsin Drive.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
None.
None.
Mr. Clerk?
Um,
Oh,
Is it all clear about what is gonna be done? I just wanna make sure that, I saw some recent communications about shrubs and
So,
and stuff,
yeah,
so-
the panels and that stuff, we're gonna go in and remove it. And then, yes, Mr. King has asked that certain shrubs and trees be removed. I asked him to connect with Greg because he just sent a photo, which didn't really specify it. Greg is meeting with him tomorrow at 8 a.m. to go over what he's asking for. And my assumption would be if Greg and his guys can do it, they just get it done.
Yeah, it looked to me in the pictures like a cleanup, which is not unusual
No.
from some of the work that's been done out there.
No, we should clean it up.
Now, the question is that the town Public Works Department didn't create the mess. Should we make the contractor go back there and clean up the mess?
That may entail an additional delay. I think for this particular
Okay.
case, I would recommend that
If we can
the
clean it
town
up, let's
clean it up. The couple hours, I think, would be well worth the hassle prevention.
Okay.
You good with that?
What happens to the old pump station? It just stays there or stuff flows through it? Do we have to go back later and dig that out?
No, the pit is, staying the same. All they're putting in is a, valve pit. So there'll be valves to isolate each individual pump. The panel control box will be removed. That's in the contract, so the Public Works Department won't remove that, or the contract will.
But Dave, all the vaults, everything is all in the town's right of way.
Okay.
It's just that the electrical panels are the ones that encroached.
I was just curious anyways, if this old piece of equipment's gonna be a bother for the new system, but,
No,
okay.
but there was a, concern from the highway department with plowing, but I think that's just gonna have to be worked out through departments, being that how close it is to the right of way. That's
For,
all.
for this, for
Or
this
for this,
site?
Nope.
Is that
Yes,
right?
sir, yes, for that site, yes.
Unrelated to the license agreement, though.
Unrelated, yes.
Understood, yep.
I'm good.
I have nothing else.
Nothing.
Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Warden?
Aye.
Mr. Simonis?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hulbert?
Aye.
Mr. Lumsden?
Aye. Future board topics, gentlemen.
Resolution for security cameras. You got that, Nate?
Yeah, for the policy. Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to get a hold of Chuck tomorrow to see if he can wait till October 2nd, but I think it's gonna be, like to Nate's point, a budget issue, but for me to submit it to the clerk on the 30th. So I'll try to tell him to make it as quick
But-
as he can,
Like, I guess it occurs to me, he can give you the numbers
ahead of time.
ahead of time, and you
Okay.
incorporate, you just
That's a good
accept
point.
them blind, or not blindly, but you
Yep.
just accept them, incorporate them. He wants to probably come and explain things.
He does.
So that's probably okay on October 1st, actually.
I can submit his numbers in my preliminary to give to the
Right.
clerk.
Put them on the agenda so we can view all that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. That's a good one. Okay, anything else?
We got the resolution for code department head.
Yep.
I'd like to ask if we have a conversation about development, prior development in the town, or prior to having our comprehensive plan done. Because I'm talking about not like zoning changes and, just development that are outside of what is permitted use right now. I think I want to have a conversation about not allowing that until we get our comprehensive plan stuff done.
To clarify, Jane, so I understand, are you thinking like a moratorium on certain classes of development until the comp plan is finished?
Yes,
And then the zoning code is updated?
yes.
Okay.
I'd like to have that discussion.
What date you wanna put that on? Future, October 2nd, can I wait till then, or?
October 1st.
I didn't hear you, Kevin.
The first was the first.
Oh, I thought you said it was the 2nd.
To the extent, Gene, your proposal moves forward in a moratorium, that does take a local law, public hearing, that type of stuff. And if there's any, I'll say pending development that has not been finally approved by anything, which this would affect, then, typically urgency is the name of the game to get it done, to stop the development that
Let's
you're
have the
thinking of.
discussion first. I don't wanna get ahead of ourselves.
Right, but I'm only saying if,
I
if this
understand.
is something that Gene views as urgent, then doing it on the 17th might be better than waiting until October 1st.
If we put it on the 17th, and if we don't have time, table it till the 1st.
That's fine with me.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Want to
Okay.
discuss it tonight? Discuss it tonight.
Well, we got some
You have
other
everything else
issues we
for it?
gotta do. Huh?
You have the RFPs, right? We want that on the
Oh, I
17th?
get all the RFPs for the professional service and service vendors.
And I have the list of CPA, attorney with alternates for general counsel, zoning, planning, ethics attorney, insurance agent, town engineer, and then I was gonna check with Lori about payroll services and how much is being spent on that. But, so those are the ones that I had listed in addition to the question mark ones, which is, I'm connecting with Lori with tomorrow. Are there any of those that you don't wanna do? I mean, if you wanna do them all, I'll get them prepared, but if you didn't wanna do all of them, please let me know.
No, I think it would be arbitrary to decide which ones we did
No,
and we
oh,
didn't. Yeah.
Just get them all.
Okay.
Almost.
Swing and a miss.
And then the comprehensive plan is,
And that's already on the.
That's on the agenda for the 17th.
Okay. Was this was there action on the 17th to pick the consultant, or in which case do I need to put a resolution? Do you guys know who you're picking from your interviews, or this is the discussion about who you're gonna pick, and then we're picking them on a resolution on October 1st?
No, we have to pick them on the 17th and keep our schedule.
Okay. Yeah, I just
we haven't
didn't.
discussed it yet. We have
No,
to
we
discuss
have
it in
not
public on the
discussed it.
17th.
Right.
Okay.
The other items are the town storage network infrastructure.
The
So
what?
The town storage network infrastructure, we haven't set a date for that. We haven't set a date for the feasibility study that revolves around Greg's department. The second floor lighting replacement, is that an October 1st issue? The second floor
lighting.
LED lighting replacement?
We can, if we wanna have the discussion, to use fund balance to replace the second floor, yes.
It's not an issue of whether or not I want it or the board wants it, it's who's proposing it and how much is it gonna cost and when does it need to be done by, that
Put
could,
it in sometime in October, I would get that.
So you'll be ready by the 1st? For the 1st?
You gotta get
You gotta-
quotes though,
I have to get quotes, so let's push it to the second meeting.
second meeting, cause he's gonna have to get current quotes.
15th, Kev? October?
15th October.
Yes, correct. There's 3 meetings in October.
Wouldn't we just wanna do an RFP like we did last time?
I'm not really interested in the discussion, I guess I'd wait until you present what you need.
All right, I'm gonna go,
What about, and then we have to have a special meeting or we've talked about having a special meeting for the budget.
we did.
We did not assign a date for that.
Nope, I submitted to the clerk on the 30th. He'll submit it to you guys on the 1st. I believe. So when you wanna have a special meeting? You guys pick. Date and time.
I'm free anytime.
Me too.
Is the 22nd?
October?
I'm running through it. If we don't get it until the 1st of October, I want a couple weeks to go through it. And if it's a special meeting, we're not gonna have it on the 15th. So the 22nd is an off week.
I'm good with that. 5 o'clock?
How about the 23rd?
There's always one.
Yeah, I can't do the 23rd. I can't do any Thursday night.
21st, Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 21st.
You good on?
Gene, that's the only day that
good
week
on
I
the
can't do it.
21st?
You,
I'm just-
is the 21st, or is the 22nd?
I don't show up.
You pick any
Okay.
other day that week, I'm
Yep.
available.
No, I'm looking for the September 20,
Thought we were talking,
October, hang on, sorry.
October.
October 21st.
October 21st. I'm available at 5 and after, so.
October 21st, 5 PM?
Thank you.
And then might I suggest, because I think how most places do it, you might have done it last year, schedule your department heads to come in, you know, on 15th and the 21st, say you're coming in at 6 o'clock and we're gonna work with you for an hour, and then you're in at 7, come in for, you know, plan on an hour, for probably Greg and Darren, maybe longer for those guys, shorter for the others, but give them times when those guys are coming in, so you can all go line by line through their budgets with them, and just that way they can know what days they're prepping for. If you can decide those now, you might not want to, you don't have to have that discussion now, but just try to get some more structure to how that rolls out ahead of time for all the department heads.
Nate, you're suggesting that on the 21st, to do it in that in order?
Whatever day you
Right,
want
right.
to do it, but, you know, I mean, either the 15th or the 21st, because you guys are getting the budget the first, that'll be
Right.
the first time you guys are looking at it. And then you really should be sitting down with the department heads, line by line, through their budgets, leaving yourself enough time after that in October to talk about anything further that you might need to, so that way you guys can then have your final, the budget, which you will then hold the public hearing on.
I don't need that meeting to start at 5 on the 21st. It could start earlier if you want to incorporate the department heads into it.
Have the department heads, if you want to do it at 4?
I can do it as early as 2, so however
you guys
it
want?
works.
I
What do
can,
you-
I
when
can
you-
too. I
Well,
can
then
too.
let's
that
do
day.
it too, because you know how this is gonna go.
Yeah,
We did this
I don't know
last year, it's gonna be long.
2 o'clock?
And the department heads deserve to have that time.
Yeah, and I'd rather be
How about you, Dave?
in their day than outside of it.
It's apple picking season.
You gonna go with October 21st at 2 o'clock?
I'm available.
You guys?
Game on.
Game on.
And then do you guys wanna pick the order in which you go through them? You might wanna do, like, I don't know what your order and what your preferred method might be there, but, you know,
I would
one
think-
at a time, right?
I would think the highway, my suggestion, let the highway department go first.
Do it in order the way the budget's prepared.
Okay,
That's smart.
okay,
It's a lot easier.
yep.
That might be some of mine is mixed in through there, so it's an FYI, so
Oh, 'cause you got parks,
Yep.
water.
it's fine, I don't care.
Plan on
You'll
I
have
think-
to be
I
here
think
the
that-
whole night.
That
You'll
means
be
you're
here
here
all
too,
night.
like, yep.
I
Okay.
appreciate you volunteering to be here for the whole thing, thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. Okay. Anything else, gentlemen? We're gonna move on, because I'm gonna let the public speak, and then I'm asking the board, would they consider Chris Fisher asked for an attorney-client privilege for the wastewater treatment? Would the board
You
agree to
wanted
that?
to do, I thought you wanted that 7:30.
We are. I'm just asking before I go to the public to confirm that we're gonna do this or not, that's all.
Well,
Then I'm gonna
Well,
go to
that's
the public.
45 minutes from now.
yeah, there's other things we can,
Yep,
Nate's
I
got
asked for
something
an
too.
executive
Darren's got
session,
something.
Darren also asked
I
for an
need to
executive
request an
session.
executive session too.
Yep, so I'm gonna go to the public. Everyone in
if we
agreement
got
to that?
time. Crazy.
Yes? What?
Let's
Go.
go.
You're presiding over
I'm
this
gonna,
meeting,
okay,
sir.
these people are here. We're gonna go to number 11, open forum. Guests shall speak in an orderly fashion, are limited to remarks of 5 minutes or less. The speaker shall deliver their comments or concerns in a civil tone without the use of profanity, personal attacks, or other disruptive behavior. The speaker shall not be interrupted except in a matter of urgency. Mr. Warden's gonna keep my timer going. Who would like to speak? Anyone? Okay,
Oh, no, we
Come
have
on
a
up.
hand. We have a
Pardon?
hand. We have it.
you know, come on up
Oh,
to,
I think.
to the speaker.
down.
I saw her.
Sorry.
Oh, you got one, Darren? Oh, go ahead.
Hi, thank you for hearing the public. My name is Katie Edwards. This is my first time at a town board meeting, so I'm not entirely sure what the forum is in terms of the intersection between the planning board and the town board. So I hope I'm in the right place. So I'm a resident of Morningside Heights. I've lived at 10 Heights Court all of my life. I've really enjoyed the property. I've enjoyed the neighborhood, right next door to Hyder Park. But our neighborhood has a lot of concerns over the solar farm that is being intensely planned right above our house and neighborhood. So I only learned about this a couple months ago. And part of that lack of communication is started to become a significant problem. Apparently there are postcards sent out with an address of 42 Smithhill Road, which does not reflect the actual address of the property. So the residents were not aware, and it was given a last minute in terms of the dissemination of the notice of the meeting. We came to the meeting, there was a full house. There was another subsequent meeting that was supposedly tabled for a public discussion about the solar farm. And we came, and the representative for the energy company was here talking to the planning board, when a lot of people just didn't come because we were not notified that it was, that we thought it was tabled. So the reason largely we are concerned is because it's a steep hill, as much as a 30-degree angle. We've already had runoff issues, a lot of drainage issues. The drainage in the neighborhood has not been good under best circumstances. When we have floods, we have significantly greater issues. Our property values, our house is directly in front of this. I have neighbors that will also significantly be impacted, even if they're not immediately beneath it. And we're also very concerned about the environmental impact. They're going to clear cut about 20 acres worth of trees and replace it with an impervious surface that is not going to be a lifelong fixture. It's going to have to be replaced. They're not, on the surface it seems green, but not when you're cutting down trees. The point of a solar farm is to balance out energy consumption with a greener source of energy. But that doesn't make sense when you're doing it on a slope and in a wooded forest, an old forest, and it goes directly against even the energy company's own documents, what they say for the frequently asked questions. They prefer not to do it on a slope. They prefer not to do it where there's trees. That's exactly what they're going to do. My last point is that it is a deep concern to the residents in terms of the equity of this. The town has a duty of care to protect its citizens, and we became aware of it's a 70-acre property. The owner of the property has only been paying $700 in collective school and property taxes because of a private forest exemption. That private forest exemption was intended to maintain the forest for natural resources. Now all of a sudden when the time was up for that exemption and he could get out of it, now they want to cut it all down. Doesn't make sense. Our street alone on Heights Court paid over $40,000 in school and property taxes last year. The owners of this property only paid $700. They do not live in this community. They are not going to be affected by what they're going to do to our property values, to our drainage, and to the beauty of our neighborhood. So I respectfully ask that the town consider what it will do to the community. So Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else care to speak? Hearing, last chance. Yeah, I see someone. I
Give
see
her the
a hand.
microphone.
I can't see her. Is it, oh, I can't see someone, okay. Mitchell is.
Hi, I'm Katie's mom. Ever since I've been there, and I've been there over 50 years, I've had trouble with that hill that we talk about, where they want to put the solar farm. It's up behind Hyder Park with all the kids that play. And it seems every fall I go through this thing with hunters going up there and their tree stands. And we've had a bullet through our bedroom window there, and it got lodged in the studs. It's still there. And it was several years ago. I know the police come up to help, but sometimes they see them coming and they scatter. So this is the one thing, I just wish, you know, this was one of our big problems, of course. And the other thing is, it's hard pan up in there, terrible drainage, just terrible. And we have a lot of underground springs that we have to deal with, so my daughter's boyfriend dug like 8-foot ditches and stuff like that, you know, to help us out, but we can't afford to have any trees taken up in there because of the drainage problem. And also too, there's houses up in there. There's houses next door. What about property values and things like that? And the other thing too that I want to talk about is several years ago I used to do the bird count for Cornell, and we have some different birds up there that most people don't have. We have a pileated woodpecker who's very shy, and we have the snowy owl, and they live in these trees up there. I have certain trees. Some trees are cardinal trees. Some trees are crow trees. They're all these different trees, and they land on this solar thingamajig. They're cooked. They're gone. So this is one thing I don't like, and I don't think Cornell would like knowing that we've got a solar farm up in there. So, but my big thing is, it doesn't make any sense that they would put a solar farm in amongst all these houses and whatever, and it's up on the hill, poor drainage, and it seems like, my proposal was, why doesn't the town find a price that they could afford to buy up that land, like the state does with land, and post it as state land, only you put it as town land. Nothing goes on it, no hunters, no houses, no nothing. And just hold it that way, because it's a beautiful hill, it's beautiful. And I just, that's my latest comment.
Thank you. Anyone else here to speak? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My name is Ron Smith, and I live over on Frederick Road in Shenango Bridge.
Could you please use the microphone?
Sure.
Thank you.
And I live over on Frederick Road in Shenango Bridge. I've been there for 57 years. The town recently went through Norman and Frederick and surveyed, I would probably say 24 houses. And the reason for that was there's a spot of land behind me that the town owns. There's a drainage ditch that originally went from Kings Row up past my house, about 3 houses up above me. And from talking to the person that was doing the survey, I was asking him, you know, first of all, who was having it done, and of course the town of Shenango. And he thought it was because they wanted to find out if anybody had built or put anything on that strip. The strip is about 15 feet wide, and it runs, like I say, from Kings Row up. In the meantime, shortly after the survey was done, the house at 17 was sold. And this was right after the survey was complete. And these people, they're there about maybe a month, and they had a brand new page fence put in their backyard. And of course, the survey sticks are there. Everybody that was surveyed, all the lots that were surveyed, there's sticks. Well, these people went right over into the Shenango, that 10, 15-foot strip, and extended their fence all the way over. So what these people have done, as far as I'm concerned, is that part of their fence is on land that they don't own. The town of Shenango owns it. I've talked to Mike about it, and I'm just wondering if, well, number one, has the town of Shenango done anything with the survey? Have they found out anything new, old? What was the result of the survey when it was done? That's one question that I have. The other question is, I'd like to see the town come up and make them move the fence, is what I'd like to see. All of the lots, at least on Norman, are 75 by 150 deep. Now, these people who just moved in, now their lot is 75 by 165, you know, which, again, is no big deal, but, I mean, it's not right. It's not right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else care to speak?
Thanks, Darren. My name's Tim Murphy. I also live on Heights Court, and there is, in fact, Darren will tell you that I have a drain out in front of my house that is full of water as we speak. The drainage is just absolutely terrible in that area. And I don't know, what year was it? 4 or 5 years ago, I came back from a sporting event I attended in Philadelphia, and we had 10 inches of water flowing down the street. It was like a river. And to clear trees and to disallow any of that water to be slowed down coming down that slope is just a bad idea. And it's very clear. At the last planning board meeting, I want to say we had 80 to 100 people at that meeting, and we're trying to get more at the next meeting coming up. And it's very clear that the constituency of the people do not want a solar farm on that hill. It's a bad idea. It's not a recommended area to put a solar farm, and we've been going over this and over this, and you just kind of keep going around and around, and I don't understand why we aren't looking at this clearly, because it's going to affect us. In fact, Tom Burns, who lives over in the town of Dickinson, brought over a letter that town of Dickinson sent over to the town of Shenango that this is a bad idea to put a solar farm on this slope. I just don't understand why this is being considered, and or isn't being considered. And like I say, we just, there's a lot of opposition for this. I don't know what else to do but stand here and talk about it. And I'm just kind of getting tired of this whole talk. This whole thing has been in effect for, we're being told 2 years. We heard about it 2 months ago. And this is going to affect our homes. So anyway, I appreciate you listening to me babble about it, but like I say, we really would like to see some action taken by the people who are running our town. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oops, sorry. Anyone else care to speak? All right, I'm going to close the public speaking. Move on to, you're asking for, we got,
I think you've got 3 executive sessions requested. I think I heard Kevin say it, unless he was joking.
No, I'm not.
nope, so
And then an attorney-client session
mine's
with Mr. Fisher.
attorney-client at 7:30, so by all means, do whatever one you want to do.
So you need a motion to go into executive sessions, and then if there's 3 of them, I don't know who you want to do first, or otherwise in what
Your
order.
choice. What do you want to do?
I'll make a motion to go into executive session about personnel issue and civil service in the town of Shenango. Do you,
You taking anyone in with you or anything?
the lawyer,
Oh, God, I didn't know.
Nate, yep,
Okay.
include Nate,
What's it up?
about a personnel in the town of Shenango in a civil service title improperly.
Okay. What?
So- I can't hear you, Gene.
No, I'm just wondering if it's an executive session discussion, if it's about the civil service title.
No, it's about a personnel.
Okay.
Personnel issue.
All right, okay. Understood.
It's an executive session.
I
I understand your
Yep.
questioning of it.
Yep, okay.
Someone second it?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
7:22, I believe it was, and it was seconded by Gene Holbert. Everyone was in favor? Anything else, gentlemen? 7:30? Okay.
I make an executive session. You want me to do it again, or do you want to do someone else? Make a motion to go into executive session with the attorney to review the investigation report.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Let's go.
Stay away from death records.
Gene Holder. I make a motion to go into attorney-client privilege with Chris Fisher by phone.
Nate, are you joining us for that?
Can't, he's recused from it. Because of the contract.
Yeah, but I thought it was.
I thought we didn't accept that waiver.
They did not, which means they didn't waive it on their side. The contractor did not, we didn't waive it, they didn't. Yep. Had that discussion with them.
Okay, so the contract is
The contractor was asking for one.
Contractor would not waive unless the town also chose to.
And what's your conflict?
I can, I mean, you wanna talk about it? So, I mean, it was, Rob
Yeah.
Coughlin. Coughlin represented the contractor on the general counsel.
Right.
Similar to how Coughlin represented the town in general counsel.
right.
And just thinking through the conflict analysis, while I was at Coughlin, any conflicts were imputed to me. Now that I'm no longer at Coughlin, the concern I have is that the argument someone would make is, well, when you were at Coughlin, all the clients at Coughlin were also making advice clients. So even though I'm no longer there, they're still former clients, which would then potentially require a conflict waiver because of things that Coughlin might have learned about union incentives in the course of their general representation. If your thought is, no, there is no, they don't have any conflict at all, you don't need a waiver, then that's not a thing that I'm trying to do this in an abundance of caution. I don't ever want to taint Chris's representation of you by me talking to him and then giving contractors an argument. Maybe it's not a good argument, but I don't wanna.
But the contractor also asked to continue to use Kaufman and Gerhardt, and that's what the board wouldn't waive.
But that's when he was at Coughlin.
No.
No, but we had a conversation about not replacing Chris because of the energy and effort that was in there, but aligning you in that same conversation, and this seems to be diametrically opposed to that.
No, we did have that conversation. One of the very first things, because I was thinking, okay, maybe it's not a conflict. But then after we had that conversation, and I talked to Chris, I went, Chris, I just wanna really think through this now. Because we have to talk about it in order to make sure we're well on the up and up. And in the conversation that I had with Chris, I came to the conclusion that the most responsible thing was to approach chief consensus and say, please give a waiver, so that way there's just no question at all. And then they said, we're not gonna give you a waiver unless the town of Shenango allows Coughlin and Gerhardt to represent Sentence. And then you folks said, no, we don't want Coughlin and Gerhardt to represent.
Now I understand, yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
I remember it, I just did not understand it that way.
I didn't come to that
But-
conclusion.
But I did, so, but I don't wanna keep
Yeah,
this,
I don't either,
so-
let's go.
so,
He stays here.
Did that have a second?
yep.
Yep.
Yes,
He can
but
stay right
I
there.
really wanna have further conversation
seconded?
about this issue.
Who's, I did.
Jane.
But I,
Thank you.
That's not the conclusion.
No, that's fine. Whichever we're going, right?
yeah. I just didn't hear the roll call. Aye.
Aye.
get a motion to adjourn the meeting? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.